Alright, welcome back. Here we go. Go. Right. So, considering all the new tech we've seen here today, it's easy to say Blue Tech Industries has changed the world in unprecedented ways, states an interviewer. Would you say that's an accurate assessment? The blonde-haired, middle-aged man asks, giving a look to a younger man with brown curly hair. The young man smiles back with a warm and biting smile as he takes in a deep breath. Then he cocks his head slightly to the left and runs his fingers through his flowing curly locks. Hesitantly, he begins. Yeah, sure, it's accurate enough, but it affects various things on different levels. It has certainly changed the way we live our lives. It has enhanced the way we interact with each other, study, play, and work. The portly interviewer chuckles and rolls his eyes. Not one to downplay yourself, huh? Come on, Slanderson, the interviewee responds. I am speaking about my products, not me. Then he raises his left eyebrow, flashing a sideways grin, but I'm not so bad myself. To which Slanderson replies with a smile. No, Bryn, you certainly are not. Suddenly he faces the camera and begins, Thank you, Bryn, all the people at Blue Tech Industries and all of you, our viewers, for this. Today was a quick look into the company that has taken our world by storm, and the man behind it. I'm speaking, of course, about the Blue Tech's Blue Portal VR systems, or, if you prefer, rigs. That's all the time we have. Join us next time for... Then the broadcast fades out to the television screen and continues fading out through an exterior window of a house. A tall, slim teenage boy is running out the front door, and he grabs up his bike, which was leaning against the wall of his garage. He kicks off on one pedal and slings his other leg over the bike, then darts off. Riding along, his long, straight, blonde and purple hair waves gently behind him in the wind. Lily, he beckons, play faves. Suddenly, music starts playing in his earpieces. A second later, his bracer vibrates and the face of a teenage boy with short dark hair appears on the surface of the bracer. Answer, he commands. Then he addresses the caller. Yo, Kip, what's good, man? Mattik, already wheels down, I see, Kip says. Yep, coming up on you in a few seconds, Mattik responds. Dude, Kip shouts inquisitively. Have you seen the... Hell yes, man, exclaims Mattik, interrupting him mid-question. Those new extensions are absolutely incredible. Then he says, check it out, coming up on you now. Sweet, Kip replies. See you in a second. In call, Lily, Mattik commands. Just then, Kip comes riding around the corner to meet up with Mattik. They stop and do a handshake as the music flips to background mode. Standing side by side, it's obvious that Kip isn't quite as tall as Mattik, but definitely more built than his slim-fit friend. Dude, those extensions are freaking badass, yo, Mattik says with great excitement. For real, Mattik, agrees a cute, short, orange-haired girl with freckles across her nose and warm brown eyes. Lizzie, shout the boys in unison. Hey guys, she greets with a sweet smile. After this, Kip continues. You know, Mattik, those new extensions are rumored to have a drive system that exactly mirrors the Beast Drive system in Thornpath. On this note, they both share a smirk and glance over at Lizzie. I know, she whines, after which she returns a coy smirk and sticks her tongue out at them, adding, which means neither one of you could ever even hope to use them. Ever! Suddenly, Lizzie's bracer vibrates. Shoot, she gasps. You punks are going to make me late. Then they all race towards their school. After they arrive and park their bikes, they lock them up and split up. However, they continue their conversation through their earpieces. Hooray for another great day here in paradise, Kip says, with dry sarcasm dripping from his voice. Definitely no, Kip, Lizzie scolds. Guys, after school we're all down, right? Asks Mattik. Lizzie jumps in. Wouldn't miss it. Same here, dude, chimes in Kip. Caves in the cliffs, they all shout simultaneously. Finally, they tap their left earpieces with their middle fingers, pull them out of their ears, and put them into their pockets. Later that day, at the local Portal Center, all three teens meet up and share a quick snack, all suited up in their custom sensory suits. These are the suits which create the physical simulation of objects in virtual environments. Well, that was a long day, Lizzie complains with a curled lip, looking up at the boys. Yep, replies Mattik, but it's over now. After which Kip smiles and adds, and now it's go time. Right, Mattik chimes in. Then he shouts, "Let's hit it and get these drops." Lizzie joins in. We all know our roles. 5 minutes later, they're all strapped into the rigs, helmets on, standing mid-air, locked into their footplate harnesses inside the portal ringframe structure. All systems checked and cleared. "Portal activate!" they all shout simultaneously. Their vision begins to blur, and a pale, soft light grows brighter and brighter as they feel a gentle body vibration increase in intensity to a heavy, pulsating sensation. Suddenly, the feeling of rapidly falling ceases, and the nearly blinding white fades to reveal a breathtaking view of a world filled with strange yet familiar sights. "Welcome back, friends," says a warm, welcoming voice. Chapter 2. First Impressions. Later that day, after the teens had finished their run, said their goodbyes, and headed home, Mattik and Kip walk out to his back porch to hang out. They can hear a fight taking place next door at his neighbor's house, and after a few loud cuss words, they hear the teenager inside storming towards the door. Another night with Chadgri running away after fighting with his dad. The old man gets drunk and everything falls apart. Mattik and Kip are still calmly sitting on Mattik's back porch, eyes glowing with the soft blue hue of their AR spectacles, chatting and discussing their latest run when Chadgri busts out of his screen door cussing out his dad. "Chadgri," Mattik calmly says to the teen boy with long red and black dreadhawk. He stands there on his back porch with his tall, lanky frame, in torn jeans and a leather jacket, giving off his usual metalhead vibe. "Fuck are you looking at, dude?" Chadgri barks with a sly smile. Kip chuckles and, grinning, snaps back, "A total asshole." Then he offers him a toke. "Here." Chadri's shoulders drop and he cocks his head back, flashing a devilish grin. "Don't mind if I do." Then he continues, "But one good turn deserves another, right?" Pulling out a small bottle from his jacket, he says, "That drunk prick won't even realize I took it." After this statement, he takes a swig and passes the bottle to Kip. "Another night in paradise, right?" Chadgri asks. Mattik chimes in, "Well..." Then he pauses for a second before continuing. "It really could be, Chad." He glances over to Kip. "Right?" "Actually, Chad," Kip says, "you're not doing anything particular right now. True?" "Exactly what the hell are you getting at?" Chadgri snaps. "Let's change up our surroundings, man," Kip responds. "And how do you propose we do that?" Chadgri asks. "How else, Joe?" Mattik replies. "Catch a port." "Portal Center is just 10 minutes away by bike," Kip adds. Chadgri replies, but is interrupted by Mattik. "Come on, Chad. Just give it a shot. I'll even pay for your first run. I mean, hell, this bottle's almost gone anyway." "Mine's out too," Kip comments. Then Mattik asks, "Besides, what else are you going to do?" Chadgri takes a deep breath and polishes off the bottle. "Ah, hell, why not, boys?" He exhales and declares, "I'm in, but just for tonight, since it's free." "Yes!" Kip and Mattik exclaim. A while later, they arrive at the Portal Center, and both Mattik and Kip lock up their bikes while Chadgri collapses his trackboard, then puts it into his backpack. As they enter the center, Chad's face lights up and his jaw drops. "Damn!" Chadgri says in awe. "This place is pretty lit, for real, guys." Good-looking girls and guys dressed in what seem like cosplay outfits from various game and show genres are walking around, serving drinks, assisting with game prep, and taking care of the other customers. Just looking around, he recognizes styles ranging from popular shooters to RPGs to fighters, horrors, and so on. "What is this?" Chadgri asks in shock. Mattik replies, "These peeps are the staff. Servers, cooks, attendants, even medical staff and technicians all wear makeup and costumes every day here. It's a pretty tight gig, or at least it looks like it to me." A soft voice calls out from behind him, "Mattik, Kip." So the boys turn to see who it is. "Hama!" Kip and Mattik shout with joy as they all meet up and hug. She's a tall, beautiful cheerleader type of girl with a gray, fluffy wolf-like tail wagging back and forth just above her backside. She also has gray, fuzzy dog ears rising out from her long, flowing, bright red hair, which is neatly pulled back into a ponytail. She looks over at Chadgri with her emerald eyes and winks. "Hey, Trouble." "Hama?" Chadgri responds with a devilish smile. Hama turns her attention back to Mattik, asking, A new recruit? I'm just blowing some time with the boys. This was their idea, Chadgri blurts out. Next, he winks back and, smiling, looks her in the eyes, but it's looking good so far. Then he looks back over to the boys and continues, it's looking like a good call so far. Hama, this is Chadgri. Chad, Hama. Kip introduces the two. Hi, poet actually, she says. Charmed, Chadgri responds. You can call me Chad, poet. So, Hama, Kip barks. 3 rigs and some Chadgri shakes in the meantime. Sure thing. Already queued up the rigs. You're welcome. And you still have about 20 minutes, she informs the boys. After this, she continues with a smile. Oh, by the way, it seems you boys may be joined by a few more. Really? Mattik prods. Who exactly? Hama just smiles and says, I'll get those shakes right over. Walking away, she turns to Chad and says, Good luck, Trouble. Hama! Mattik shouts, but she is already gone. Chadgri leans over to Mattik, still watching Hama walk away. Who is she exactly? A moment later, another girl shows up with a pitcher filled with some purple shake and 3 tall mugs. She has green skin with a dark pink mohawk, 2 upturned tusks, and pointy ears. She's dressed in some neat leather and silver armor, which is inlaid with some bone bracing. Drink up and get ready for the raid, the cute orc barmaid bellows. Thank you, the guys reply at nearly the same time. This is pretty cool, guys, Chadgri states. Yeah, Mattik says in response. You get here, queue up, and then enjoy one of these light fillers before getting into the chaos. It's gonna be insane, yo. Trust me. Hell yeah, man, Kip adds. But you're gonna love it. They continue chatting for a bit, and just as they're about to finish their drinks, the queue crest begins buzzing. We're in, Kip exclaims. They jump up, and Chad follows the other two into a sort of changing room. In this room, they dress down to their undergarments and store their clothes in some lockers. The next room over, they all receive tight spandex full body suits. What kind of moon suit is this? Chadgri asks. These are the skin suits, Kip explains. They keep your skin cool and dry so that when you're running and fighting, you don't become completely drenched. Then Mattik jumps in. The next layer is the most important because it's the sensory suit, which is the part that allows you to feel and physically interact with everything in this game. At this point, Kip takes over. Once we get this on, we'll head over to the actual rigs and strap into the ring frame harnesses. Those make it possible for you to move anywhere you want in-game while keeping you safely held in the same spot all night long. For reference, he points to some other customers who are already running in-game. See? That looks so crazy, Chadgri exclaims. They're actually flipping and spinning. That guy is sitting in the air. Yeah, I guess at first, maybe, Mattik agrees. Then he assures Chad, but once you get into Thornpath, you'll never stop coming back. After a bit more time has passed and a few more steps are taken, they're all suited up, strapped in, system checks are all good, and everything's to go. Just remember, Chad, Mattik warns, once you get there, we'll come to meet you. Just try to get through any basic fundamental lessons you get a chance to, Kip chimes in. Portal activate, they all command, and a few seconds later, the bright white fades to a smoky blue flame floating in a sort of void. Welcome, vagabond spirit, a calm, soothing voice beckons to Chadgri. Next, the voice goes on to advise. Before you lie a few very crucial decisions to make. While there are no right or wrong answers here, the choices made will drastically affect every aspect of the adventures on which you are about to embark. To start, you must decide which race you wish to be. Each race has one or more starting locations and associated starting factions. As you grow, your faction alignment may change due to the decisions you make and actions you take, but that is a more advanced theme, better left for later. The other main factor affected by your chosen race is innate racial abilities and affinities. You see, some races can see in the dark, while others may be able to sense treasure nearby. Other attributes, such as higher strength, dexterity, or magic affinity, are also included in this mix. Finally, certain aspects of gameplay will be affected based on the size of your character you choose in the next few moments. For example, there are areas where certain treasures can only be reached by someone who is small enough to fit through a small passage. On the other hand, there are other treasures which can only be accessed by someone who is large enough to reach up high or pick up certain items. After a short pause, the voice advises, please take some time and choose carefully which form will best suit your ideal personal playstyle. As soon as this monologue ends, a globe appears before Chadgri. It's about the size of a small beach ball and just within arm's reach. Softly glowing as it hovers and rotates, a gentle humming comes from inside the luminescent globe. He eyes it carefully for a second, then curious, he reaches out and touches it to see if he can feel it. He immediately gasps and pulls his hand back sharply as his fingers feel cold and frosty the second they make contact with the surface. Afterwards, he extends his hand once again, and this time he feels warmth and humidity radiating from the globe. He thinks for a second, assessing the situation. Suddenly, he realizes that the first time he touched the globe, that area was located near the north, a cold and snowy region, whereas the second time he placed his fingers on an area of the globe, it was in the center, a warm and tropical area. Dude, he thinks to himself, this is amazing. He places his thumb in his mouth, kind of biting on the tip, and then he reaches out to the globe once again and holds it in place. Information suddenly appears over the globe, in the air, showing several races that are obviously tied to this particular region. On the far left is a male and female pair of what look like humans. To the right of them, just above the globe, is a green-skinned pair with very muscular builds. Lastly, hovering on the far right, he sees a pair of tiny, wooden-looking beings. Above each pair, there are labels stating the races. Humans, orcs, and brownies are the indigenous races of this region. He hovers his hand over the orcs, and to the right of them, a floating tablet appears with various pertinent information being displayed. This includes racial alignments between their race and other races, racial attributes and abilities, and class compatibilities for this race. Intrigued, Chadgri says to himself, so you can be any class you want regardless of race, but if you choose to be an orc mage, your racial strength buff won't necessarily help you in battle. However, it would be of great benefit as an orc warrior. Then he pauses and strokes his chin, saying, interesting. He returns his attention to the floating images and realizes that each pair displayed are accompanied by a variable size chart. The images shown give the average height of the selected character, and a height line to the left of each character shows the selectable height range. He looks closely at the orc male and sees that they can range from 5'10" to 7 foot, while the female orc ranges from 5'8" to 6'5". Then his eye catches another bit of information: weight. As he touches the height section line, he slides it up to the tallest possible setting and notices that the weight increases in tandem. After this, he realizes that there is also a physique section, but it has no option to select or change it. At this, he wonders out loud, why isn't there an option to change the physique? I want more muscles. Suddenly, the same voice from before responds, just as in your world, here in Thornpath, your physique is determined by your choices and actions. If you truly wish to have more muscles, then you should engage in activities that will result in this outcome. Physically demanding work and undertaking tasks which require you to use your strength to complete are both good options for this outcome. Oh, Chadgri states jokingly and slightly surprised. You're still here? After asking, he looks for the owner of the voice with his eyes glancing back and forth. Yes, the voice answers. I am the guide, the liaison, if you will, between your realm and this one. I will remain in contact with you for the transition period. During this time, if you have any questions, I will be here to provide you with answers. Excellent, Chadgri thinks to himself, making sure not to say it out loud. Next, he redirects his attention back to the globe and starts wondering what other races he can find. Next, he redirects his attention back to the globe and starts wondering what other races he can find on it, how big or small they are in comparison to each other, and what sort of special abilities they each possess. He once again places his hand on the globe and gives it a slight spin to the left. Hovering his hand over the central, northern, and southern regions, he sees goblins and ogres alongside dwarves and humans in one region. The goblins are short, ugly humanoids with dark green skin, beady yellow eyes, and large pointy ears. The ogres are huge, grotesque humanoids who are fat yet super strong. Another soft spin, and the next section shows kobolds and dark elves sharing the land with wood elves and dwarves. The kobolds are a rather short, beastly looking lot. Striped fur like a badger, large claws and teeth are the main traits for them. The dark elves are almost identical to the high elves at slightly taller than average heights and high intelligence. Also, like the high elves, their attributes include a high affinity to arcane arts. Overall, the selection available is impressive and seems to have something for everyone. The trolls and ogres are the largest races available, while the brownies, fae, and halflings are on the opposite end of the spectrum. Suddenly remembering the rest of his friends were waiting for him to join them in this new world, he tries to find a cool choice quickly. After a few moments, Chadgri opts to be a half-elf bard with a vocalist specialization. This particular skill set enables him to use dark magic to debilitate enemy abilities and attributes with his special songs and lyrics. He can also learn to enhance his allies with songs that will increase their rage level, attack power, attack speed, or movement speed. The previously mentioned songs offer increased crowd control such as fear or stun duration, and he also sees an option about pain suppression and healing. With the main core choices set in stone, he begins a quick setup on the cosmetic aspects. He chooses to model his half-elf avatar after his own image, a tall, pale-skinned half-elf with a long black and red dreadhog, equipped with some basic leather armor and a knife. "Are you prepared to enter Thornpath, adventurer?" the voice inquires. Hell yeah, Chadgri shouts. "Then you have but one more step before you proceed," the voice responds. "Okay, what's that?" Chadgri asks. "A name. You have to choose a name," the voice answers. "Of course, I knew that," Chadgri says sarcastically. "Well, that's easy," he boldly states with a huge smile, then shouts, "Greylick! My name is Greylick." A loud ding rings out all around him that shakes him to his core as everything turns to a bright yellow flash. That's it for now.